What's up, bro? Welcome to Jets Life Podcast.
What's
I'm your
up?
host, Anthony. Got Dom over here. We got a full pack show here. We're going to talk a little bit about Jets' first victory of the season. Go into that a little bit. Touch base on what was an emotional week overall for the entire Jets organization, Jets fan base, with the loss of Mangold, and get into our game stars of the game, and also we gotta do dunce of the week. There's always somebody you want to label as that, and then I guess the key to the show, hence the headline, we're gonna talk about how to fix the Jets in one off season to the best of our abilities based on the assets they're gonna have to try and get this roster better. So let's dive right into it. Definitely a good place to start. The loss of Nick Mangold. This one was tough. I was actually talking to someone about it, like probably one of the first years I really kind of focused on the draft was probably that year the Jets had the 2 first-round picks with Mangold. That would have been 06. Maybe like a couple years prior to that, like I had some semblance of interest, but I do feel like that was like the first year that I was like fully invested. Actually, no, the first year I was like kind of invested was the year we traded for Dwayne Robertson.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But even that, like I don't know if I knew the details as much as I did the year of Mangold. So this is literally like the first player like I like kind of, well, obviously Brick as well, but followed from like day one till the very last day, and the first player really to kind of work their entire career as a member of the Jets organization, end to end. Him and Brick both did that. And then for him to pass away, 41 years old, with supposedly a condition he had his entire NFL career too, is at least what's been said. Definitely tough. Tough for everyone involved. Awesome guy from everything you hear about it. There's nothing but positive stories about him. There were a lot of emotional, I would say, like tributes to him throughout the day. Probably one of the harder ones that I thought was Rex Ryan's sit at the podium, whatever type of thing, when he was talking about it. Dude, hearing him talk about this, like you can just feel the hurt, and I mean,
get the chills.
That was tough for a guy that's like not a clown, but he's always there to make a laugh, make a joke. It's hard when you see people like that just destroyed and in pain over the loss of somebody. I don't know about you. That one kind of got me a little choked up a little bit hearing him friggin' giving his little memory about Nick Mangold. And what was I think he was talking about his last game as a coach. Mangold shouldn't have been playing. He's like, no, I'm playing for you, and he played and finished the game.
That was
your comments on it
for sure. Watching that Rex Ryan, like that hit home.
Mm-hmm.
That was his guy. For years, 6 years he was there, and that was his guy. And watching Mangold, come in. I remember that draft, the 2006 draft, that had Mangold and DeBrickashaw Ferguson. Probably one of the best drafts we've ever had. Also, it was just so. I mean, just to see what happened. 41 years old. That's the saddest part. Left 4 kids behind. You're right. I heard the same thing. I mean, he's been dealing with this almost since he's been a football player with the Jets. In 06, he was dealing with it.
That's what he sounded. Probably had whatever.
And supposedly, I heard, I don't know if this is true or not either, but supposedly there was a donor all set up and ready to roll, and just everything took a hit for the worst.
You had mentioned that. I never heard that particularly, like myself. Not saying it's not true. But the hard thing is he was looking for a rare blood type. He was looking for someone that's I think it was O positive.
Right.
Is what he was looking for based on his whatever message he put on social media a few weeks ago. That's always one of the hardest to find.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if he did find it, it must have just not been compatible. I'm no doctor, but I know that there's some situations where you can have the same blood type, but there's other factors that go into finding a suitable match other than just having the right blood type. That's always rule number one. You want to have the right blood type, but there's other factors that go into it too. So it's always hard to find that right match. And
And
unfortunately, doesn't seem
just
like
gotta
they got
hope
that
that
one.
the family could pull through nice, and I'm pretty sure, I know the Jets are doing a lot for them too. There's so much going on behind the scenes. A
For that
lot of
family.
family for the family. A
Yeah.
lot of YouTubers reaching out. I mean, it's our fan base is just amazing. I
Mhm.
mean, even other fan bases as well, especially over in Cincinnati. That's where he's from. He
Yeah.
went to Ohio State and all that. So
Which
it was
adds to
definitely felt everywhere.
which adds to a little bit of the ironic emotion, etc. to the game. The
Yeah,
fact that
well,
the Jets were playing in Cincinnati, not too far from where he played his college football.
that's for sure.
And just the way that they won this game, I think there's a lot of different things you can kind of toy around with as far as like things that may have like been a
He was playing.
coincidental tribute. But yeah, well, I guess we'll jump into the game unless you have anything else to add about Nick Mangold. But
Yeah, I'm just going to say one thing. I know he was there that game. I
yeah,
mean, that offensive line never played so well in my life. That team, they just played balls. He was definitely on that line helping them out. That's it.
it
Just go
felt
with
like
that.
it. That's probably one of the best games we've seen out of the offensive line.
Yeah,
since
for sure.
He was there. He was there.
Yeah, for sure.
Which doesn't say much, but it definitely. But yeah, let's talk about the game. Big comeback win. And I guess let's start with just like the obvious like elephant in the room. Team tank versus team I want to see improvement. Um, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this game? Like, were you like upset, distraught, happy, sad?
I was happy. I was happy. It's seventh. It was the eighth game of the season. We got 10 more weeks to go. They're gonna win games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't see them winning that game. That I didn't at all. Okay.
No.
Especially no Garrett Wilson, no Sauce Gardner. I mean, right off the bat, I thought we were just gonna get shellacked. And we were getting shellacked until, if something just popped. And me personally, I was happy for that win. It was for Nick Mangold for sure. I feel that had a lot to do with it. I'm happy Aaron Glenn got his first win. I'm happy that, Brees broke out finally. I'm happy that the offensive line played very well. Defense we can still talk about, but you know what? They made the stop when it needed to stop, make the stop. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I'm actually happy about it. I'm not team tankathon yet. Now, if this was week 15, week 16, and this would have happened, I'd be pretty I'd be biting forget it. I'd be pissed. But it's only week 8.
Yeah, it's way too early to be kind of playing with that. I think at the end of this whole thing, the Jets are still going to have 3 wins. There's too much inconsistencies on this offense. They're not going to play the Bengals every week. The Bengals are a terrible defense. Justin Fields is going to regress at some point back to his norm. This wasn't a light bulb on type of moment for him. He's had plenty of games like this in his career, followed up with a lot of the complete opposite in the weeks following that. That's why when people say he's worse than Zach Wilson, I don't know. Zach Wilson wasn't putting a game like this together.
No,
not in his entire life. But that's a very low bar when you're trying to compare what a quarterback is in the league, is whether or not he's Zach Wilson. At the end of the day, the Jets are going to get 3 wins some way or another. They're going to find wins. They're going to lose the stupid games. How the hell did they lose to Carolina, for example, last week?
Right.
With Andy Dalton playing quarterback. But then they're going to win games like this with Cincinnati, who was flying high with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins on the outside, and Sauce Gardner nowhere in sight because of his injury. And somehow they hold those 2 guys to 10 catches. T. Higgins had the 1 bomb. Jamar Chase was held mostly in check. 9 catches for 9 catches for 90 yards or something like that. Yeah.
89 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
91 yards.
If that guy gets 9 catches a game, you're expecting him to get to
140.
150 to 200 yards. To hold him down to only short yard receptions, that's a big victory for this team in that aspect. Hey everyone, hope all is well. Go Jets. Support, subscribe to the channel. Great New York Jets content. Chris, appreciate you joining the chat. But yeah, here's the thing: when you're talking about like the team tank versus whatever, I would have been annoyed at this game if the Jets would have won 9-6.
Right.
You know, because yeah, it's a good sign for the defense. Obviously, like you held Cincinnati to 6 points, whatever, which was never going to happen.
Right.
But I guess we'll just use Carolina and Denver as an example for all this. I would have been a little annoyed, in the grand scheme of everything, if I saw the Jets win one of those two games. For the sheer fact of, the whole point of the season moving forward, obviously you want to show improvement. And there's ways to show improvement without winning games. I'm not saying like that, a win or a loss tells you whether or not they improve week over week. They could have lost this game, and I still would have left thinking like, at least they didn't give up. They fought through. It's just that defense is a wreck. But the fact that this offense put up the 38 points, again, it was against a poor defense, but the offensive line is really the key moving forward. We know what Garrett Wilson is on the outside, obviously. We know what Breece Hall can be, whether or not he's here or not. But the offensive line is still something that, we know what their potential could be, but we need to see what they can eventually evolve into for the rest of the year. Because at the end of all this, the Jets are going to be picking a quarterback in April. And the key to this whole situation, it's been a problem every single time the Jets have gone to the draft. They've never been equipped and ready to support that quarterback. Sam Darnold, that offensive line was in shambles. Their receivers were lacking. Zach Wilson, they were basically
he sucks.
Just a mess. Well, he sucked too, but the team as a whole they were still not ready to support a quarterback at that point in time either.
Right.
This time around, if the Jets can figure out a way to keep themselves secure in those top two pick, even top three, depending on whether or not Dante Moore comes out, if they can keep themselves right there in that mix to where they get one of those three guys, all these guys have upside, every single one of them. And a lot of what it takes for a quarterback to be successful is what's around him, because every quarterback's going to have learning curves, every single one of them, some more than others. But if you put any of those three guys in a situation where they're not the primary focus, they are just there to develop in whatever way happens throughout the course of the season. Eventually, you want to see major growth, throughout the season. But you're not asking this guy to be the savior like you did with Zach Wilson. You're not asking this guy to be a savior like you did with Sam Darnold. It's going to be very similar to the situation with Mark Sanchez when we got him. He was just brought in to be a guy, not the guy.
Right. And
eventually he developed into something that was promising, but just still had his issues with the turnovers. That was always something that plagued him throughout his entire career with the Jets. But this is the kind of win you want to see, where the offensive line imposes their will, 250 yards rushing. That's a recipe for what this team wants to be. 500 yards of total offense. That's exactly what we need to see moving forward. And this was a step in the right direction. Now they're going to do it every week. I don't think anywhere close to that. They got Cleveland coming out of the bye. That's going to be a tough one, for a major test. Cleveland is a good defense. I've noticed that their home to road splits have been pretty large. They give up like 25 points a game when they're on the road versus when they're at home. They're basically like untouchable. And they get 30 points again this week to New England. But yeah, we'll see. Bye week coming up. We got 2 weeks of victory Mondays just by the sheer fact of winning one game. You get a 2-for on this one. But promising game overall. And let's go through like just the secondary as a whole. Major test with Sauce Gardner out this game. And they get the big play to T. Higgins. But outside of that, I mean, these three guys look like they're there to stay. I think the Jets have a cornerback room that's
pretty solid
for success moving forward. And you're 4 deep there too. When you got Jarvis Brownlee, they still need a safety in the back end. I still hesitant with what Cisco is, and obviously it's going to be an area that they can improve. But that secondary, they passed the test in this game.
They almost certainly did. Brandon Stevens, when he first came in, I mean, first few weeks, man, everybody was like killing him. But I'll tell you, he's bounced back quite a bit. He's been playing solid football. Hasn't been making stupid bonehead decisions. I'm happy to what I seen with him. AZ Thomas, same thing. I mean, outside that one long play he gave up, pretty much play. I mean, listen, you're guarding Higgins and Jamar Chase, man. I mean, they have the best 1-2 punch in the whole league. You know what I'm saying?
There was a rep where he was one-on-one. Joe Blewett outlined it on his like little. I think I saw it on Twitter.
22.
It was just a film breakdown of just a single play, where he was one-on-one with Chase. I mean, there was a safety over the top, but Chase was running like a quick slant route type of thing, and he had like a jiggle route at the top of the route, like to try and get separation. And Thomas did an outstanding job of staying underneath him in the route. The ball went there, and he was able to kind of break it up underneath Chase. Listen, when you got a guy like that, third round pick, going one-on-one with top 3 receiver in the league, if you really want to. I mean, I put him number 1. Justin Jefferson's right up there with him, but those two are just outstanding, crazy. It's hard to break that.
Yeah, it's just not easy to guard that guy. That's for sure.
No, not after a week when he had 16 catches. And again, he's gonna get his catches. It's about limiting the yards,
the damage
after the catch, and obviously nothing down the field. And they did exactly that. Higgins had the one breakaway, but that was terrible play by Malachi.
Rookie, man. He's allowed to make these mistakes. He's got to learn from them, though.
But you can't do that to your boy. Fucking
no, for sure.
Hey, have a nice day.
Peace.
Have fun with this guy down the field.
Oh boy.
But yeah, secondary and that running game is just the Jets' defensive running game. That's got to get fixed. I don't know what the heck is going on there. Another game where they allowed close to 200. Was it over 200 yards?
It was close there. I think it was.
I think they may have approached there.
Yeah. I mean, even Flacco ran for a few yards.
Yeah, he had that like 8-yard gain or whatever it was on the first down.
Yeah. Couldn't see it though. I thought, the run defense definitely. That was the biggest problem in this game. They were just shoving that ball down our throats. Mm-hmm. We couldn't stop Brown at all. I mean, he was just coming right at us. Then you had Perrine. What is his name? Scott Perrine. He's coming in, destroying us, banging us out 1-2 as well.
Yeah. So they ended the game 180 yards rushing.
Okay.
That's the part that's got to stop. This defense, the secondary is making a move in the right direction, or at least it looks like it. But that defense cannot be given up. That's what killed it. I mean, that's what really kind of threw this game apart. If you really kind of consider what this Jets defense did in the second half, like the 2 touchdowns were both just long drives where they were just running the ball. For what it felt like 10 yards a clip every single time they did a handoff. And they even almost got away with one on the very last drive. And then they handed it to Brown, and he got like 15 yards to get them right around midfield. And then Zach Taylor just tried getting a little too cute on second down. That was idiotic. I mean,
I'll tell you.
Again, it's one of those things. If it works and you get like another 10 to 15 yards out of it, you're close to field goal range. You just need a quick completion to get you there. Or you get stopped for nothing, and then you got to waste the timeout, and you just kind of look silly for it. But yeah,
I tell you, that run game. I mean, our linebackers played like dog crap, man. I mean, you got Sherwood, who got benched, by the way. He missed the whole first quarter, but he was playing some special teams too, so he got punished. I know Quincy Williams just come back from injury and all that.
Maybe he was flying.
Yeah, but same thing, man. They're just not gelling, man. It's been a problem from day one. Our linebackers. That's where.
Well, it's tackling too as a whole. It's I think Malachi Moore had a chance at P. Ryan on one of the long touchdowns. It's tackling as a whole. It's been a problem all year long. I don't understand it, especially the fact that the Jets were like praising how that they're having a tough mini camp or training camp, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, true.
And you come out, you don't know how to tackle. It's a little concerning for a team that's
They're getting better with that though. Same thing with like the flags. I mean, last few weeks they've been pretty good with that. I mean, have you seen how many flags they got in this game? I don't even know. How many calls were against us?
4 penalties, 25 yards.
I mean, that's better than the 12 to 15 we were getting every week. I mean, so I'm seeing improvement in discipline. You're starting to see. Listen, I just think Aaron Glenn's philosophy is going to take a little time. As much as we don't want to be 1-7, but hey, listen, it's trending upwards. It just needs time.
It's one game. You're a decent defense away from potentially losing this game 38-10. You know what I mean? Like that's the part that has me concerned the most. You can't be getting 38 points. Not when you come over as a defensive coordinator with a guy with a defensive coordinator that was a one-time head coach, a guy that's been one and done plenty of times. It's a little alarming. I think a victory like this kind of gives you that little, feather in your cap that, maybe there's something there with this offense and the offensive coordinator, the offensive line. But there's still a lot of problems on the defense that have to be figured out. But for the situation we're in, I would relish the fact that we have an offense that can groom a rookie quarterback. Because, look at Pat Mahomes. I'm obviously not putting whoever we draft in that category. But when Pat Mahomes first came in the league, that defense was atrocious.
KC, yeah.
KC was terrible when he first came in the league. He was winning games and losing games where he was putting up 30 points and the defense was allowing 30 points. That was a week-to-week situation for him. We got Skull State of Mind. Got a Vikings fan in our chat. What's up, fellas?
There you go. What's up, bud?
How do you feel about Aaron Glenn? We're actually just talking about it now. So, little feather in the cap for Aaron Glenn on this one to get his first victory of his coaching career. And listen, things look a little bit better when you get a win than when you're kind of arguing with the media about little things on a loss. He pushed all the right buttons this game, and that's probably the biggest factor. Going for two multiple times.
Fourth downs.
Drawing up the right plays, going for on fourth downs when you're supposed to. Even the first drive or the first.
Yeah, it was the first drive.
Going for on fourth down when you did the pitch play, whatever. The play call was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
But the idea of going for on fourth down, like that's what you do in that spot. Like this is, and that's not even you're 0-7. What do you got to lose? That's a situation where even a winning team, you got the ball the right side, the right part of the field. If it's 4th and 1, you go for it because you're giving yourself an extra possession. When you talk about like playing the field position game, okay, we'll punt it here. We'll try and force them to go 3 and out. We get the ball back with decent field position. Why not just go for it one play, get it, and then you're right back, and you're probably in better field position than if you were to give it to them and have them punt it anyway.
No, for sure.
Barring a big return.
Being that was 4th and 1 on that play, I remember watching it, and I'm saying to myself, just Justin Fields, go up the gut, man. Where's our tush push? You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing I was
play. And once I seen they tossed, I was like, they're dead. They are dead. And I seen that whole defensive line just like right onto that side. I was like, done.
Well, he checked out of it. My assumption is that it was probably a design sneak. He checked out of it, probably didn't see something he liked. And the thing that's crazy about it is I don't think it's not like they loaded up the middle of the box or anything like that where there was 8 guys within the line of scrimmage. It was a standard goal line type of situation, formation. It wasn't a push type of defense. So it didn't really make sense for him to check out of it. He's a running quarterback. You would hope that he would get that yard. And what made matters a little worse for him is that the very next drive, after you lose that 4th down, Joe Flacco goes down the field and he rushes it in for a 1-yard touchdown.
Yeah, he did.
I was like,
kidding me, man.
But Aaron Glenn, I think deserves a praise. I think this is a win that obviously give a lot of credit to the offensive line, give a lot of credit to the team as a whole. Everyone understood what they were playing for. Everyone understood the loss of Mangle and what it meant to this organization. And you could tell how directly after this game, a lot of players going from Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, even the punter, like there was a number of players that reached out on social media expressing, this one was for 74, blah, 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 yada, yada. So they understood the magnitude of this. That's another reason why it's like if your team tank, you're not understanding the gravity of like what this game really meant overall. Like the just everything about it, being in Ohio,
emotions.
The fact that this offensive line like looked like it was when he was playing in the game way back in 09 and 010 and many years along with that. It was a special moment. And when you're a 1-6, 1-17, whatever, you don't get many of those. So it's good to have a good moment here and there. And listen, it's, again, I keep going back to it, but it's a situation where we have an offense that's built to eventually, hopefully, bring along a rookie quarterback, because that's what we'll most likely be drafting come April. Now that we've kind of touched on the game a little bit here, let's go into our – we didn't do the game balls yet. So I'll let you go first with the game ball. Who's your guy or unit? You can even go with a unit if you want. Coaches, front office, whatever the heck you want to do.
I mean –
Woody?
Game ball for the game, definitely not Woody. But, I mean, if you want to give it to someone, I mean, as players, I mean, Brees had an amazing game. I mean, he for sure should get it. But I'm going to give this one to Aaron Glenn. He gets the game ball for this one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think because of the parts we outlined, just pressing all the right buttons at the right time. I was going to see which way you went on this one. And I was going to go the opposite direction. Well, not the opposite direction, the other direction. The offensive line's the obvious other group that gets the praise. 3 pressures allowed this entire game. Brees Hall averaging 7.4 yards per rush, which is actually pretty ironic considering Mangold's number.
For sure.
Yeah, it's just one of those ironic things. I didn't believe when I first saw it. I was like, is that math right? And I was like, oh, shit. That's fucking weird. But, yeah, the offensive line, in a day where we were mourning one of our great offensive linemen, put on a friggin' show. And Tippmann talked about after the game how, Nick was a big inspiration for him. Someone that really helped him out in his early part of his career, for a guy that's still young, actually.
For sure.
He reached out to him, and if you need any help, I'm there to help you out and stuff like that. So, offensive line showed their ass in this game.
Yeah, they did. I mean, that's also a big plus right there. Oh, dunce of the week? I'm going to go – honestly, I could give it to 2 players. Jamian Sherwood and Quincy Williams. They didn't show up. And Quincy hasn't showed up in the last 3 weeks either. Something's up with this guy.
Well, Quincy hasn't played the last 3 weeks.
I'm sorry, not Quincy. Oh, my God.
Sherwood.
Yeah.
Quincy literally has not shown up. Literally has not shown up.
I meant Quinnen Williams. Sorry.
Quinnen?
Yeah, he's been what do you have, a half a tackle this game? Where was he? I mean, where's our run stop gap? I mean, like, this guy's I don't know, man. Something's up with him. 3 weeks in a row he has played like garbage. I mean, look at his stats the last 3 games. He's got in his head that I'm leaving. What's going on? This is the trade world.
I don't think he's leaving anytime soon, but it's obviously a conversation for another day. But so you're going Quinnen on the dunce of the week?
Quinnen and Sherwood.
Quinnen and Sherwood? Yeah.
I give it to both those guys.
They were on the same wavelength on this whole thing. Like the one area you look at this game, it's like, okay, what went wrong? Obviously you get 38 points. You get 38 points and you only allowed Higgins and Chase to combine for what?
10 catches? 11 total?
13 catches, 140 yards, 135 yards.
Yeah, I mean
That's nothing.
that's locked down, man. You pretty much lock these guys down.
You do that,
You should win this game
you should win
easily.
the game, or at the very least, not allow 38 points.
That's what I'm saying, right?
You had two guys, Chase Brown, Samaje Perine, go for, over 70 yards. Flacco had 2 rushes for 14 yards.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell is that all about?
All three of these guys,
dinosaur, dude. He doesn't move. He's like,
but yeah, Perine had 10 yards per rush, which I thought it felt like every time he touched it, he was getting 10 yards a clip. He was literally getting 10 yards a clip.
He was.
And then Chase Brown, which I feel like Chase Brown had a couple bigger runs, but he also got more carries for 6 yards a carry. The run defense is really the way I put it, and I don't even know where to start. I mean, the tackling. I mean, I guess you got to kind of just stick with the theme of it all, and it's just the entire defense has flaws, and so I think probably my dunce of the week, I just got to give it to Wilkes. I mean, we're 8 weeks in. Your guys don't know how to tackle. That's like rule number 1 to playing defense. So that's there. I'll go. I'll just say the entire defense needs to clean something up
for sure.
Alrighty. Anything else on this game?
No. I mean, listen. Again, we're gonna tip our hats to Aaron Glenn's first win. It was an emotional win, and I'm happy that they won their game. I didn't want to go 0-17. That's embarrassing. I mean, at least we get that out of the way. Could it turn into more? Who knows? Especially after you get that one win. I mean, things can transpire now. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, this team's going to come out of the gate, start winning games. Next thing you know, like you said, 3, 4 is a possibility. Maybe even 5, depending on how good they're replaying. Like I said, everything, the cat's out of the bag now. So now it's all right. They don't have to stress out. When are we going to get a win? When are we going to win? They got their win. So let's see what happens.
We even talk about Isaiah Davis. That's probably another guy worthy of a game ball.
Yeah, I agree.
We're gonna need him to kind of keep doing shit like that. If you ask me today, who's our running back 2? I go with him over Braylon Allen. I haven't seen anything out of Braylon Allen yet.
Same here.
I mean, I'm not saying he can't be. He's still very young. I think he's only 21, 22 years old. He's really young.
Like that, yeah.
I know when they drafted him, he was like the youngest player in the league, and now they have Mason Taylor, who's now the youngest player in the league. So they have a really young offense. So there's still definitely room for improvement. But Isaiah Davis just seems like a guy that knows what to do when the ball's in his hands.
Hey, man.
And when it's not in his hands, the guy's an outstanding blocker.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
There was a play on the fourth down where Fields hit hit Ruckert. Dude, Isaiah Davis had an outstanding block on that drive. If he doesn't block that guy, Justin Fields is going to get popped, and they're losing this game. We're not talking about victory right now. We're talking about since he's getting the ball. I think it was around midfield, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
But
I remember that play.
That play really kind of jolted him in the right direction there. But yeah, just wanted to call out one thing. So now, after a win, how do we fix this? How do we fix whatever's left?
Woody Johnson needs to sell the team. That's how we fix it.
That's not happening, unfortunately. Not in one off.
No, it's not.
But I know you put a list together and stuff like that. I did a little bit more fancy stuff and put a presentation together. Okay. But I think we can use my presentation as a talking point and work through whatever you put together.
Yeah, sure.
And sort of figure out what we do there. So let's see what this does here. All right, perfect. Why does it look weird to me? Let me get rid of this. There we go. It's better. All right. How to fix New York Jets. So, and these numbers are based off of over the cap. So, very first thing I'm calling out here, obviously, over the cap projects us $74 million on the cap for next year as our starting point. Some key trades here that I think should and need to be made is Michael Carter, Quincy Williams, Alan Lazard. I think when you look at the overall value of what the Jets will get in return for these 3 guys, obviously Lazard's like a net nothing. But when you look at Michael Carter and Quincy Williams, can you weasel a way of getting a late 4th-round pick value is probably what the best case scenario. And I'm not saying they get a 4th-round pick, but they might get like 2 5ths or something like that, or a 5th and a 6th.
Swap.
Something of that nature where you're probably getting overall a 4th-round pick value out of these guys, which is not bad. But the biggest key here is the Michael Carter situation of saving $8.6 million in cap space. That's probably more critical to the matter. And I don't think it's dire either, because even if you don't trade him, you're going to cut him at the end of the year and you're going to have the same cap savings anyway. So
Right.
I think I saw your list and you had a few more trades than I did.
Had 3 trades. 2 of them matches yours. I had Quincy Williams. I had Michael Carter. But I also do think they're going to be moving on from Breece Hall, even though his big game, his value's he's just shot up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think his value, let me tell you, they might be able to like do a pick swap and try to get a 3rd rounder for a 4th rounder there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So let me ask you a question on the whole Breece Hall thing.
Yes.
So you trade him. You're not getting any cap relief because he's not on the roster next year. And you probably save a few shekels because of his contract for the rest of the year. Fine. But you have to turn around and replace this guy next year. You have to replace his offensive value. And, there's a couple of different ways to do it, obviously. He's a monster in the passing game as far as being able to catch a ball out of the backfield. He's efficient with the ball in his hands. I think this last game showed us that he can really benefit from having somebody else there. His entire career with the Jets, it's always just been him and nobody else. And that applies a lot of pressure for a running back to just be the only guy. If you can figure out a way to supplement him with someone else.
Are you talking about like a dual threat with him and Isaiah Davis, you're saying?
As of today, yeah. That'd be my...
I mean, I agree totally with that. I mean, not saying I want to let Breece go, but I just think that, if someone comes knocking and they're going to offer them, listen, if you're trying to say if you're going to get a 3rd, you're not going to get rid of him. I know if they wouldn't sign him, they'll probably get compensation pick anyway. They'll end up getting a 4th or a 5th anyway for the following year. So it's up to the Jets. Honestly, if they hold on to him, I would like for them to sign him. Like they give him an extension for 2-3 years. Give him like a $9 to $11 million deal. For 3 years.
So I think the number for him is probably gonna, and I don't think he owes the Jets any favors. I think he's gonna try and push for the most he can get. You're a running back; you only get one chance of this,
right?
And this is gonna be his only chance. Would you take Breece Hall next year on this team for $12 million?
For $12 million?
Yeah, on a 1-year deal.
So if we get the Breece Hall like we've seen this past Sunday, I'm not saying he's going to do that every game.
That's the risk in every move, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he's going to do that every game, but like maybe 70% of that, yes, I'm cool with giving him a $12 million deal. But listen, a lot of these teams have great running backs, man, that are great. Look at every team that's in the playoff hunt number 1 or on top of the league. Great running backs. Look at Buffalo, James Cook. You know what I'm saying? Look at we go on and on and on. Every team. Baltimore, they stink this year, but Derrick Henry for years. You have who's that guy over in oh boy, why can't I think right now? With the Rams. Williams.
The Rams?
Is that his name over there?
Oh, Kyron Williams?
Yeah, Kyron Williams with the Rams. It goes on and on and on. Atlanta, when they're good, Bijan Robinson. Teams with running backs win the game.
Yeah. So my biggest thing is you got to figure out a way to replace Breece Hall somehow, some way. And a 3rd-round pick, 4th-round pick isn't probably getting you Breece Hall value. So you're admitting they're going to sell low here. I don't know if the Jets really want to sell low when you really look at the fact that they're going to have a rookie quarterback next year. They're probably still going to be paying Justin Fields, whatever. But you have a rookie quarterback on your roster next year. To get Breece on here for $12 million, if you can give him 3 years at $10 million a year, whatever, probably go somewhere in that route. You can make decisions as they need to be made. But worst case scenario, I mean, and we can go into it in a couple slides here, but I think it makes sense to have Brees Hall on this team to aid a rookie quarterback, because you got to look at the free agency, and there's not a lot of,
Oh, wait, hold on. There is a couple of guys out there.
There's a couple of guys out there, but are those guys exciting you the way Brees Hall can? I don't.
Rico Dowdle, man.
Yeah, but do we know he's leaving Carolina? I mean, he's having.
We don't know, but he's on. I mean, he's only got a 1-year deal there. I mean,
yeah, but he's putting together a good year over there. I mean, he might just have that comfortability with what Canales is running over there, and might just want to stick around. I mean,
yeah,
that's part of the story too. Sometimes these guys find some success in a particular system. But yeah, he's obviously an option. But we'll move along. But
yeah,
so I think you and I are kind of in the same ballpark here as far as like cap is concerned. So I think what did you say? You got Brees. You don't save anything for Brees.
I was just looking more of the what we could receive, like cap, in draft compensation there. That was it. I mean, there was talk about him from day one. Are we trading him? Are we trading him? We're trading him.
I just don't. And my thing too is I don't know if you're getting a third for Brees. I think
it's more like a pick swap with a fourth.
So yeah,
that's not too. I mean, listen, if we could hold him, we could franchise tag him maybe.
Well,
next year, that's a possibility too.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if you had any trades in your list or anything like that, or cuts.
Oh, I had trade. Well, those are the only trades I had.
You had a trade deadline. I'm talking like off-season trades, like monster trades. I don't know if you did anything.
I didn't really pay attention to that because I don't know. The only monster one that would be, probably would be Quinnen, if anything. But that's going to be all for the following year anyway. Would it be for this year? You're saying?
So this is where I'm getting at. So I don't think it's happening this year for Quinnen.
Right.
I think in the offseason, Jets explore this. And, when you look at what this can do for this team, send Quinnen Williams to a competing team. I don't know what value particularly you put on it, but if a team's trading for Quinnen Williams, you're probably looking at a team that's probably picking somewhere in the 20s, maybe late teens. That would be nice, but you're probably more somewhere in the 20s for a team that wants to get him. Probably get something in the neighborhood of a 2026 first-round pick and a 2027 second. Maybe you can weasel a third for this year too. Would be nice, but
why wouldn't they do that now, though? Why would they have to wait out till the offseason?
So my thing is, they could do it now, but my thing is, I don't know if they want to, because
he hasn't played in the last 3 weeks.
No, Quinnen, not Quincy.
Yeah, I'm talking about Quinnen. He's been a ghost, dude.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying. I get it. I don't know. Listen, I love the guy. They're probably going to move ways. I don't know if they, like you said, are they going to do it now? He was that fourth player I was actually going to put on that trade list, but I was thinking probably not going to happen until, like you're saying, at the end of the season.
I just don't know, and I think, and I don't think the one and done thing is, going to happen at all. Obviously, we'll see what happens as the rest of the season goes on. But the fact that we're even talking about that it could still happen, even like a slight percentage, tells you that this coaching staff needs players that are going to help them win to some extent. They're not guaranteed next year. They might be internally, and then that changes this conversation. But in a world where they need to get victories, they need to get some wins. I think today Quinnen Williams helps that then have some draft capital that you potentially may not even be making those picks for and getting the benefit of. So that's where I think they keep Quinnen for the rest of the year and maybe in the offseason, unless you have intentions on giving him an extension. And because he's 27 going into this offseason.
Still young.
He's still young. I think his guaranteed money runs out after the season. So he's going to want some assurances. He's going to want something there. Are you willing to give it to him, or do you kind of pull Jamal Adams type of situation here and say, all right, see you later. Let's get some ammunition here and try and build things out for this offense. And here's like the package I get here. We got an extra first-round pick in this year's draft. We got a future pick to kind of bolster what we can build on next year. And you save $17 million on the cap this year, bumping me up to $100 million in cap. I don't know. You had this. Yeah, you didn't have this in your list, whatever. So, I mean
that would be, I think, an awesome. I mean, listen, like I said, I love Quinnen. I love him. I love him since we've drafted him. The guy's funny. He's a great player. You know, he's a top 10 defensive tackle in football. Okay. But you know what? He's done nothing but lose and lose and lose. He wants to win. Let's send him to a someone that's going to win. Hopefully the NFC somewhere. I don't want him in the AFC, right? And let him shine and let him try to get a ring. You know, he deserves it.
Yeah. And all this isn't to say like this is like the right move to do. I just think it's the right move at this time. You get the most for him. You get some additional assets to build this team with, and we'll see what we can do.
So we got to build this team. We got to get rid of the crap on this team and bring in fresh players, you know, with a winning mentality. You know, that's what they need to do. And, you know, I mean, I got a list of people that are going to go, but we can go. Let's go.
Well, yeah. So I think most of the players you had going are just the players that are expiring contracts, and we can go through. I have your list here unless you want to go through it.
No, you can go through it. Go ahead.
So Alan Lazard, that's an obvious one. Cisco, we kind of gave him his problems. Tony Adams, gone. Josh Reynolds, probably gone. I mean, some of these guys you could bring back on like reasonable contracts. It's not like you're breaking the bank for any of these guys. But the first three definitely gone. I think they've all warned out their welcome. Isaiah Oliver, like I don't even know if they use the guy. Like,
that's what I'm saying. So get rid of him. I haven't heard his name from. Forget it.
Kane, he's never on the field.
That's his problem.
Stone Smart, Jelani Woods.
Never heard of them. They're on the team though, mind you. But never seen them on the field.
I think they're mostly being used as like when they are on the field, they're being used on specials, not really on the offense.
Yeah, water boys.
Andrew Beck, Jay Tufele, Cam Jones, Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, I mean, all reasonable. And these are kind of the names you expect to be gone. But yeah, I think we're kind of pretty much in lockstep for the most part in what we expect this team to do. Now we get to the good part.
Oh,
who we signing? Who we going with here? I think you went a little bit more in depth with your signings. But here's kind of where I see things falling. As far as players are re-signing that are on the current team, I'm tagging Brees for $12 million. We have rookie quarterback. He's a weapon in the passing game. He's a weapon in the running game. Just need someone there to help him out. And hopefully they have that in Isaiah Davis that could be a third down running back for this team. And, you know, give Engstrand a couple more weapons and another year of Brees to kind of build this offense and kind of expand that creativity. Brees a lot of passing touchdown this game. You know, these little things that you're allowing this team to do now because you have more familiarity with this team. We'll get another year with Brees Hall with a quarterback that can actually throw the football and that you have some trust in, because that's a big problem for the last 2 weeks. I don't think they trusted Fields. If they did, they would have probably been a little more aggressive at the end of halves with the team. I'm bringing back this entire offensive line. I'm bringing back John Simpson. I'm bringing back Josh Myers. I'm bringing back Jeremy Ruckert. I think he's had a better year this year than he had the last couple of years, with some upside. And I
had him on my list too.
Yeah, you had Simpson. You threw ABT on there. My thing with ABT is what's someone going to be willing to pay him is my biggest concern.
Well, I don't. That's the thing.
Teams get crazy sometimes.
I mean, they could get crazy. I mean, if someone's going to offer him the bag, all right, he's gone. But if he's going to come in, like, let's say, I'm thinking more like a 1-year deal, maybe worth $5.5, $6 million.
See, I don't think he goes that low.
You don't, even with his injury past?
No, I think if anything, he's gonna, if his best thing is getting a 1-year deal, he's pushing for more bank. I mean, you could probably weasel him out for 1 year, $10 million, but my thing about it is, would he really want to stay here where he's had injury problems? Then maybe like, his agent telling him like, hey, this team, has a history of a strong medical staff. You can go there, maybe play for $1 million less, but they'll be able to kind of work with you in your rehab, try and figure things out for you. And then next year you're back on the market to get hopefully a 2 or 3 year contract, or maybe they'll resign you if you put together a healthy season and they see improvement. I think that's the more likely direction he'd want to go with. And maybe he likes the coaching staff. Maybe he likes, playing for the Jets and whatever they are doing for their players and stuff like that. Maybe he likes that stuff. But it just seems like a player that just like, he's great, but he's never on the field. And I think he needs to figure out a way to be on the field because he's got plenty of years of football left. It's just one of those years of football if you're always battling weird injuries that are hard.
Two tricep tears, bro. One on each arm.
I
know he got his Achilles. What was it? His Achilles that he ruptured?
He got Achilles. Yeah, he got the Achilles. He got the 2 triceps.
It's never ending.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
That's my thing.
You think he's gonna take like a 1 year, $10 million and bring him back? I was thinking in a neighborhood of anywhere from 4.5 to 6. But if you're telling me he's gonna go for that much, then it's not even worth signing him. I mean, you just go draft another guard.
I just think for a value that low, you'd be out.
Yeah.
I don't know that. The thing about the Jets is like no player on this team owes the Jets any favors. Okay, like it's not like we're the Bills where, okay, you want to get the best dollar out there, go find it. If not, we're here with this money, and that's something the Jets were able to do with Rex Ryan a number of times. There were a number of players that they allowed to walk in free agency or allowed them to test free agency and said, just come back with your best offer and we'll talk about it. And a number of times that worked out. The Jets aren't getting away with that anymore. Jets aren't saying, come back to us. Players not coming back.
They don't want to come back.
Once they're out the door, they're gone.
Oh, forget it.
But so I went down your list. Max Mitchell, I think.
Depth pieces, He's a low.
That's another situation where I think like you might just have better options outside than inside for similar value. Change of scenery for a player like him and change of scenery for someone else might be better for everyone. Xavier Newman, you can keep him around. He's all right. McCrary Ball.
Clemens.
I passed on that. I didn't want to say that name. I was trying to give you a break.
I did that on purpose.
And then Juwan Briggs, I don't know the situation with Juwan Briggs. Like
I thought he had 2 years left, didn't he?
He does. So I think it's because he's so I think there's something with like if you're a late round pick or you're undrafted, each year like you're kind of like you're able to sign like a reserve future contract type of thing where it's like basically bet minimum. He's on the roster next year, and it's
100%. He's been nothing but spectacular.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think we're mostly on board with a lot of stuff. You don't have the Brees situation happening. You have some other stuff happening.
Right.
So I'm at 72. I don't know if you're keeping tabs on stuff, where you're at, but so yeah, $72 million.
Did it for me. I think I was at 74, but without the Brees Hall trade. Not the Brees Hall trade, without the Quinnen.
So you would have been at 83.
Right.
Without the Quinnen. And then now you're 72 plus 12. 72. So you're probably at 84.
84 million, right?
Okay, so you go into free agency with a little bit more cash than I got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the only thing I didn't do was I don't have Brees on this team, right? I definitely would have signed those 3 players 100%. Bringing them back, the numbers sound about right too.
And I'm not trying to go crazy with these numbers too, because there's like 3 years, $27 million isn't $9 million a year. 3 years, $27 million could be $2 million this year.
Yeah, then 10,
$8 million next year
following, and 15 million.
It's one of those things too. So it's not flat math, but we're trying to keep it flat as much as we can. Just best way to go about it, I think. All right, priority signings.
No,
my number.
Get out of here. Okay. I seen that name on there. I was like, no, you're kidding.
No.
Oh gosh.
I saw his name. Saw his name on the free agent list.
I did too. I was gonna play a joke like that too. I was like, forget it. I didn't have enough room on my paper to put it in there.
So yeah, no Hassan Reddick coming back to the Jets. There's no welcoming him with open arms. So here's like what I look at after my free agent signings and all that crap I did, or the re-signings and stuff like that. And obviously there are other areas where you can fill in depth and stuff like that too. But my needs list based on everything we've done so far, and you have an extra need at running back because of the Breece Hall thing. Right. Quarterback, obvious. We need 2 wide receivers on this team. And I'm saying a wide receiver 2 and a wide receiver 3 is what I'm kind of putting out there. With the Quinnen trade, I have a need at interior defensive line. I need a couple of these guys. I didn't go into details of guys like Jay Tafele and stuff like that. He's more a depth guy, in my opinion, type of thing. That probably still leaves the need there. But if you don't fill the need, he's just an extra body you can have floating around there. Plus, I don't even think he's played this year, so it's a concern there. Yeah. Linebacker is a major need too. It sucks the Sherwood contract because you're kind of stuck with that for at least another year. And then I think we need a nickel or a safety. Need a couple of these guys. Really just need a starter and then some depth. So, and then O-line and edge depth is just always going to be a need.
Are you keeping Justin Fields next year?
I'm not cutting him. I don't see a reason for it right now because here's my thing. You just need someone behind whoever you're going to draft. And to cut Fields, you save $1 million. And is that really – is it really worth it? You know, if the offseason falls a certain way and you get someone in here at a reasonable price, you can cut Fields at that point in time and still save your same $1 million. But I don't think it becomes a priority cut type of thing. Like Michael Carter would be a priority cut. Like I'm cutting him to save $10 million. You know, it's just $9 million, whatever. Like that's just what I'm doing day one. When I cut him, have a nice day. Justin Fields, I just don't see that same,
scenario.
Idea. Like it just doesn't make sense for the Jets to just eat $20 million for the sake of eating it, and then to go out and pay someone, what it takes to sign a quarterback, anywhere between $5 to $10 million if you want a high end backup quarterback. And that's what you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay something of that nature if you want someone that's going to be kind of tutoring this quarterback. But yeah, so that's my situation. I'm not cutting Fields, keeping him there as a backup, and and here's the thing with Fields too. And I know teams don't generally do this, but you can kind of use them as a weapon in your offense. From a running situation.
What do they call it?
The Wildcat.
The Wildcat. There you go. I mean, perfect quarterback for it.
Yeah, so that's my thing too. Is like he can still have a role even if he's not the starting quarterback. Now, obviously, if you're doing that, you probably want a third quarterback that can you have a little bit of trust in.
You got Brady Cook.
Maybe if he has a little bit of something, but you probably still. You're playing with fire a little bit there when you're messing with the quarterback, but to the same extent, like the Steelers tried this a little bit, probably not nearly as much as they could have with when Russell Wilson was playing quarterback, but they brought him in some short yardage situations on like a quarterback keeper type of like sweep play type of thing, and that's the kind of thing I think the Jets can really utilize him for moving forward, because he's not a quarterback in the passing sense.
Unless he surprises us all in the next upcoming weeks. Jeez. Yeah, we'll see. That's all I need to see.
All right. So now we're going to get into our real free agent signings here. And I kind of broke this down position by position in a little more detail. So I'll start with the number one wide receiver. So my shit got screwed up. Anyway. So top of the wish list, I don't know if it's happening. I think Jacoby Myers made it pretty clear that he wants to go to a quarterback-ready team, not necessarily a team that's drafting a quarterback. And I think that's probably more of a pipe dream.
Right.
To get a guy like Myers, he would be outstanding possession type of receiver that can kind of give you some, big play kind of threat there. I think he would be a good compliment for Garrett Wilson in that aspect. I'm running the car up there for him, like calling him day one, saying, "Hey, 4 years, $80 million. Are you coming?" He's gonna be like the top target for a lot of teams. He might sign for more. He might take less to go to a team that has a quarterback established. It's going to be a little bit of a weird situation there. But sometimes money talks. And when you're a team that's drafting a quarterback first overall, second overall, wherever we're picking them, you got to sometimes play this game like you are picking a quarterback early in the draft, and you don't have to pay that guy for 3 or 4 years. So the best way to help this guy out is really, really expand this wide receiver room with a guy like Myers. Now, if he doesn't sign, you got other options too. Romeo Doubs is out there too. He probably gets somewhere in the neighborhood of $17 million a year. My issue with Doubs is he has drop issues, and that's obviously infuriating for some players. I was watching some Ty Simpson film earlier today, and there was a game where he hit Ryan Williams twice. Ryan Williams dropped it, and I feel like he kind of spiraled a little bit against FSU. Sometimes this stuff gets in players' heads. Like, oh, this guy's dropping it. Now, what the fuck do I have to do win a game? Oh shit! I'm missing easy throws and stuff like that. Another player too, and I'm not sure if he takes the bait, but Wan'Dale Robinson from the Giants, he's a pretty solid weapon.
He is.
He'll give you about 400, 600 yards in a good offense. I think he averages like 450 yards a year with the Giants. It's not huge, but wide receivers don't come to free agency when there's anybody with any talent.
Yeah, that's
$10 million is basically like your going rate for anybody that can give you anything. So you might have to entice them. 3 years, $40 million, 3 years, $45 million, somewhere in that ballpark. Probably gets a guy like that in town. I'm going to go with this crazy world of the Jets being able to kind of lure in a guy like Jacoby Myers with the intention of, hey, you got a top tier player. It's hard when you just want a free agency of what's going to happen here, but
for sure.
That's kind of the avenue I'm going here is like they do land the big fish, and you have a true number 2 wide receiver opposite Garrett Wilson for your rookie quarterback. Going through your list, did you have anything wide receiver? Oh, you want Myers too?
Yeah, I didn't have him going for that much, but I guess yeah. I mean, I have him. I seen that he was making $11 million, so he's going to get close to 20. You're saying?
I think so, man.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a little too rich for Jacoby. I like him though. I do like him.
Christian Kirk got $18 million.
Yeah, I do remember that
3 or 4 years ago with Jacksonville. It just wide receivers don't hit free agency anymore. It's it's becoming a world where wide receivers, quarterbacks, number 1 corners, obviously edge players, like those top tier guys don't usually walk into free agency. It's just the way it is. When a wide and we might be having this conversation, the Raiders might tag Myers type of situation. I don't think they will. But that's the thing too. Like, how many years were we talking about T. Higgins in free agency?
Yeah, for 3 years, 4 years. That was going for a while.
And then he gets tagged, and then he signs finally after getting tagged twice.
$30 million a year.
That big contract he signed. So, and obviously T. Higgins will be a number 1 wide receiver for another team. It's just the way he would have been paid like that. Myers, I think you're getting such a discount with Garrett Wilson. It almost makes sense to splurge a little bit more and get another wide receiver in here. But yeah, I think Myers, and maybe he goes for a nice
compliment. Yeah, for sure. Honestly, if that's the case, you still draft another receiver, but you don't have to do it with that second rounder now. You can wait till the 3rd round to bring in another receiver. Or if you wanted to sneak back into the 1st round to grab your receiver, you don't have to do it anymore. Now you could concentrate on another edge player with that second pick, and jump up in the draft to grab one. I mean, that's what that does, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it reduces that positional need.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jets still need 2 wide receivers. I'll make that pretty clear.
Oh,
So
I mean,
they
bring in
need
a guy like Myers. I mean, we got Arian Smith, we got Garrett Wilson. I mean, and then draft another kid and maybe a day 2 pick. Definitely a day 2 wide receiver and go to work.
Okay, so I forget how much you were at. I think you were at 84.
Yeah, it was at 84. But yeah,
I mean,
my list is so long, dude. It's not everybody on that list is coming to play with the Jets. But if my top guys, being that I don't have Brees, we need some running backs here, and I'm thinking of going 2 running backs instead of 1.
Well, that's what makes it a little more interesting for you. And I don't have running back in here, so we can go into your running back situation.
Right.
Like, you got to figure out how we put weapons around this guy. And taking Brees away, you almost kind of push the need for a number 1 or number 2 wide receiver even further, And that's kind of where I was at when I eventually said, let me just tag Brees keep a weapon in the building. Because if you're going into this offseason with Garrett Wilson as your number 1 wide receiver, and I need to get running back, a starting running back.
A starting running back, yeah.
Yeah, because Isaiah Davis, as good as he's being, he's probably still just your good 3rd down running back. That's his role, and that's perfect because I think he does that role very well. Braylon Allen,
prove it.
At best, he's your short yard running back, and he doesn't even do that well. That's the problem. That's my thing. How many times have they given the ball to that guy on 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, and he gets stuffed? I just don't understand it. And he's like, 240 pounds? I don't give a shit about that stuff anymore. So, you kind of need, look at this offense and say, you need a running back 1, you need a wide receiver 2, you need a wide receiver 3. I don't know if the Jets can really afford to not have Brees Hall on this team next year. At least knowingly,
I mean, based on that, I mean, no, they don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's why when I made my list of running backs, I mean, I have 2 running backs you could bring in, right? I have Rico Dowdle would be my starter for next year, okay, and bring in Najee Harris as your 2nd or 3rd running back. I mean, you're going to get them relatively cheap. You bring in 2 running backs, probably going to cost you less than Brees. A total of maybe 9 to 10 million, and you got 2 roster spots filled because we're going to go with 3 to 4 running backs. You know what I'm saying? So that would be You're going
to go with 3 though.
Yeah.
When you look at roster construction, you're really probably only going to be able to squeeze 3 running backs on your 53.
I mean, so
and I'm fine living in a world where it's Brees, Braylon, and I almost think the Jets might draft a running back
just to get rid of
and see if that guy can challenge Braylon. There's been reports that this coaching staff and this front office really like Braylon Allen, but I think
it sucks. His injury happened, man. It's one of those things, So we'll never know. We might not never even know. How about that? So that was one of my things. I definitely did have Jacoby Myers on my list, along with who was it? Oh, that was my only receiver I had on my list because that was the only guy I really wanted.
I mean, these are the other top options. I mean, there are other guys on the list too, like Mike Evans, which he's not coming here.
Yeah, well,
hold on. Let me pull up the list again.
No, there was quite a few. There was like DeAndre Hopkins was out there. I mean, no.
He's watching.
Even Zach Wilson's out there as a backup quarterback if we need one. I don't want him either.
I was going to do that too, but I thought Hassan Reddick was more fun here.
Yeah, no, that is.
So Mike Evans, Christian Kirk is out there too, but
yeah,
I mean, I was looking for someone that was like, 27.
That's
28.
Exactly what I did with my list. All the players on this team, like all the players I was looking at here, are all like 27 years old or younger.
Mm-hmm. But I also want someone you can trust. You know what I mean? Like De'Ami Brown is probably gonna, get a contract out there. Tutu Atwell's doing some good stuff over there with the Rams, but like I wanted someone that like has a proven track record. Jawan Jennings was on this list, but I thought he signed a contract with the 49ers.
You
So
know who else
that's
is
my
on
number
that
two.
list? You know who else was on that list? And I was actually interested because he's only 29 years old. I didn't realize he was even that young. But JFM, John Franklin Myers. Bring him back for, I mean,
I take him back, but
yeah, would he want to come back? That's the other thing.
That's a problem.
Yeah,
I mean, it's different regime and everything like that
it
too.
is.
He probably goes to San Fran if anything. But no, I
Yeah.
think he likes out in Denver, and they like him out there too. So I don't know if that's.
You know, I brought in some defensive players if you want to hear some of them.
Let's kind of keep moving along the list here. I think I went.
Oh, you did. Oh, yeah, you did the same thing here. Okay, go ahead. I did a
So
safety too.
my next priority signing was Jaquan Brisker. I think that safety, but number of options that kind of intrigued me a little bit. I liked Jaquan Brisker from Chicago.
Damn.
The Jets really need to friggin' explore safety help here. And I know it's a big number, but you almost got to pay it for a top-notch safety. I think probably what more happens with the Jets in this situation is probably like Reed Blankenship or Cam Curl signing one of those two contracts. That's probably the more reasonable area for the Jets, but you can get a guy.
What about Jalen Thompson? You didn't have him on our list from Arizona?
I did. I saw him. So I was going a little like different here with like my kind of thought process. Jaquan Brisker being in the NFC North, playing across from Aaron Glenn for a few years, was kind of the part
similarity there. And all that.
Reed Blankenship, I kind of drew my eye a little bit too because of a championship pedigree with the Eagles. And then there are a couple other options with the Rams, but Cam Curl kind of fit that mold of like a younger player that can kind of come in and make some plays. I did see Thompson as well.
You do. I mean, honestly, Jacoby Brisker, 3-year, 57. I'm more leaning towards Cameron Curl. You don't pay these safeties this kind of money, dude. I mean, I
understand that, but
I mean, listen, you're better off, honestly, with your day 2 pick, picking a safety then. Hopefully it's your guy. And, being that, Aaron Glenn is a CB, cornerback by, design, he can mold one of these young guys, but somebody that's, worth the value, a top 100 pick, not somebody in day 7, like 7th round or undrafted free agent. You're going to have to like pick your choosing. I mean, you're going to have picks here, man.
I hear you. But Brisker's still young. I mean, if you sign into his contract, he'll be 29 when the contract's over. Yeah, I mean, true. That's kind of the intrigue there. Again, I understand the money, but again, you got to kind of keep going back to what I was saying earlier.
Not our money, man.
Well, yeah, it's not our money, but you're also paying a rookie quarterback nothing.
Yeah,
for 4 years. Well,
true.
At the end of this guy's development, if this team has kind of got a strong defense and you're starting to kind of worry about paying him there and kind of work your way through the roster at that point, who really gives a shit?
Sure.
But as of today, like you've got to put all the weapons out there to kind of build towards his success. But yeah, so you had Thompson going for around $12 million.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the more the cap grows, one.
Yeah, true.
Two,
it's probably gonna be like a $15 million player.
Well, that's the thing there too.
Yeah.
Blankenship. I mean, I kind of went on the high end with some of my values here. We'll kind of know a little bit more as like we get closer and closer what like these guys are going to look at. But here in October, these are like the values that you're kind of looking at for some of these guys. So I'm kind of, again, going with the aggressive part here, saying like the Jets get Brisker here. And I don't know why my number didn't pop up down here, but we'll just say another $20 million off the top, or 19, whatever.
32 mil.
Yeah. 33. Yeah, I don't know what happened with my friggin' whatever. But a couple other like acquisitions that I'm making. for the Jets.
Anzalone.
Anzalone from Detroit makes a
yeah.
lot of sense.
Linebacker. I like him.
$8 million a year. Might have to squeeze a third year because, I think he's like, I want to say he's like 30, 31 years old. So probably on his last contract.
Anzalone.
Yeah, 2 years, $16 million. Probably looking for
a third year.
Returning to Detroit for that. If I'm leaving Detroit, if someone give me a third year, so you might have to do something crazy like that. But with NFL contracts, that third year is basically a 2-year contract anyway because you cut them after 2 years.
Anyway.
And then I got to fill in some interior defensive line help. Logan Hall. I went here, plays with Tampa under Todd Bowles. Kind of similar scheme a little bit to what Glenn does. Glenn being with him at some point in time with Detroit made a little sense to me. Kind of explore options. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to explore areas where has he played with the Detroit offensive coordinator or defense coordinator or whatever have you. So that's kind of where I'm at here. There's a couple of other key acquisitions to kind of fill out our need list, and we're at $19 million of cap room. And again, these contracts are able to be manipulated where after all these contracts, the Jets have like $35 million, $40 million if you structure it in the right way.
Is this the year Aaron Rodgers? After this year, Aaron Rodgers is off the books, right?
So we're still paying him in 26.
So and after that, it's completely done.
Yeah,
that's gonna be like $60 million, isn't it?
Well, it's $35 million next year, I think.
Oh, okay, 35 accounts for okay.
Any of your signings you want to talk about?
I mean, so you have a lot of it's very similar to mine. I mean, you're going with safety, which I figured were definitely needed. I had to replace with running back, wide receiver. We just up, but I was also thinking about some edge players. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking of maybe AJ Espinoza from the Bills, possibly, or even Dre'Mont Jones from Tennessee. He's a guy. He's still both of them still young. You bring them in. I mean, good depth pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Because I actually do like that because when I get to the end of this whole thing, and I go through my starters and my depth and stuff like that, the one area that I really kind of still have concerns over is the edge spot. So I do agree with that. Probably something I could have spent a little more time on, but
I think they will, being that their defense.
No, they'll need to for sure.
And the other thing I was thinking here, so you went with Alex Anzalone, 2 years, maybe 2 for 16. You put him in there, but I was also thinking of Kenneth Murray from the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Still a young kid. He flies around, man. And I don't know. I mean, that would be somebody I'd be. You know what? I think it's going to take a lot more than $7 million to bring him in.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. Might take, like you're saying, it's probably going to be similar to your numbers, $8-9 million a year. But that's those are the kind of players we need, man. We need players that play, man. They play hard, that want to win.
So Kenneth Murray right now is on a 2-year, $15 million contract, but he's playing above that. I mean,
he's going to get paid more. He's going to get $9 million, $10 million a year, bro. And I don't think the Jets are going to play 2 linebackers, because then might as well just keep.
And that's part of the reason why I kind of ignored it for the most part, except for the fact of Anzalone makes a lot of sense because
familiarities with Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, it just makes too much sense. So Kenneth Murray is 26 years old. Yeah, he probably ends up getting something like $10 million a year, like you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And then, for the extra $2 million, do you pay a young player instead of someone that, you're just familiar with?
Yeah, no, I get it.
But yeah.
Hey, we just need Glenn players, man. We need we need his type of players in here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he wants, go and get it, man.
All right. I think after this, we're up to the NFL draft. Okay. So just a reminder on
You jumped up.
I didn't jump up. That was the Quinnen Williams trade. Don't forget that.
Oh, so your first 3 picks. All right.
So, again, I don't know exactly where, so I kind of put it the mid-20s.
Okay.
I did a mock draft and I didn't really agree with some of it there, so kind of played around with a little stuff here. So obviously, the Jets are the first pick, or even the second pick. It's going to be Mendoza or Simpson, I think, at this point in time. Like what I'm seeing out of both of them, I think there's still plenty of time before we can kind of anoint any of these guys the number one guy. The college football playoff is going to be probably the biggest deciding factor in what these guys can do against top-notch opponent. They have played some tough opponents. Ty Simpson has played 3 games against ranked opponents and looked outstanding in all those games. He did have a slip up against Florida State, but it was his first career game, and he looked like it was his first career game in that game. But still showed some poise. I think the issue I had with him in that game, I think he just seemed at some point in time like he was a little flustered, especially after Ryan Williams dropped a couple passes. His accuracy took a major dip in the second half. But the thing I was intrigued by with Ty Simpson is that after that game, I locked into the Missouri game, and that Missouri game was the 6th game he's played. So 5 games since the Florida State game. Over those 5 games, not counting incompletion or drop passes, he had an 81% completion percentage. He's still, to this point in time, has only thrown 1 interception, and it was on a 4th and 1 heave up the sideline, whatever, that got intercepted. That's basically a winning play, because if it falls incomplete, you're losing that field position. So,
for sure.
But still, his only interception was on a do or die. Got to get it out of here. 4th down play. Fernando Mendoza,
he's my crush. He really is.
He's my number one, and I
don't think we're going to end up with that first freaking pick. I have a feeling, man.
So here's the thing, though. Like, I don't know, and there's there are some out there. And I don't personally see it, but there are some out there that think Ty Simpson has the higher upside. He's a 1-year starter and looks like he's been starting for 3 years. My thing is Mendoza has been starting for 3 years, and I haven't seen much bad. There has been bad, but his bad is usually followed up with a lot of good. He had a lot of turnover-worthy plays in Cal. Started the year this year with some turnover-worthy type of plays, but ever since then, he has been lights out. He's the Heisman favorite, and I don't know that there's an argument to be made there. He is probably locked in right now as the Heisman. If you're putting bets out there, he's probably the top of the heap, and he's undefeated. He brought Indiana from a number 20 ranking in the preseason up to number 2, and who knows, still growing possibly. But again, there's still a lot of competition to come up. I'm hoping that he kind of keeps things moving in the right direction, and we start things off with that Ohio State defense. That's going to be probably the biggest test of his entire career, is going up against Ohio State's defense if they make it to the Big Ten championship. He's my number one. He would be my number one if I'm making the pick. But there are a lot out there that also believe Ty Simpson is very well worthy of that number 1 pick because of his upside.
And even what's his name? That kid Moore.
Yeah, Dante Moore. But my thing with Moore, I think he could benefit from another year in college, and I think that's, Oregon wins the national championship, he probably comes out. You know what I mean? There's no reason to kind of play around, because you could put yourself in a weird situation like Drew Allard did. Drew Allard was probably a top 10 pick last year, and now
you might even smell the first round.
Terrible start to the year.
Horrible coach.
The injury doesn't help, and he's probably looking at being a day 3 pick probably. That's how bad it can get if you don't play the cards right. So it's a possibility Dante Moore could come out, most likely too.
High stock.
But as of today, if I was picking 1 or I was picking 2, I'd be happy with either of these 2 guys.
I'm in the same boat as you, for sure. I mean, I put Ty Simpson on mine because I don't think we're going to end up with the first round. I don't think we're going to have the first pick. I think we may have to even trade up to go get our quarterback, to be honest with you.
I don't know, man. Do you see his team winning more than 3 games?
I mean, I see 3 games, but I think 3 games is going to put us at like number 4.
I don't
know.
You
got what I'm saying? Man, look who's there, dude. There's from 1 through 7. Look at the teams. We got We got Titans are going to be there. We have the Saints that are going to be there. The Giants are going to be there.
They're not picking a quarterback.
They're not going to pick a quarterback, but they're going to be there. What happens if a team like the Rams has 2 first-round picks and wants to trade up all the way to number 2 or number 1 to get their guy?
Okay, so as of today, there are 9 teams with 2 wins or less.
Right, that's scary.
It's scary, but Baltimore is 2-5.
They're going to win.
They're going to win some games. Miami, as much of a shit show as they are,
they'll win 5 games. They're going to beat us one more time.
They'll probably beat us one more time. Honestly, I actually think we're going to beat Miami.
We probably will. I picked them. All right, so the 3 wins I see now are the Saints and Miami. And beating the Saints is going to put us in that shit show of we're going to lose the tiebreakers against them.
My biggest fear looking at the teams that are 2 wins is Tennessee. Yeah. Tennessee looks like they are lost. They look completely lost.
Well, they got Cam Ward. They're not going anywhere with that. But that's going to be a team that's going to look to trade down if they have the first pick.
I understand that, but I'm agreeing with you there. Cleveland has a strong defense. They're going to win some games.
Not if we lose to them.
We're going to.
Not if we beat them. I mean,
we're going to lose to them, man.
You say we're going to lose. I know. No, I get that. I know that. Listen, but if the Jets go on, let's say the Jets do find a little wave here. I'm not saying it's a big wave. We're going to win 7 games, but enough to get to 4 games. Dude, we just shot ourselves in the foot. We're going to have to trade up for these guys.
Potentially.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't see us getting 4 wins, though. I just simply don't see it. But anyway.
We'll see. We got 10 more weeks to go.
We continue.
Yes.
But listen, even if you do that, then you gotta fucking figure out a way to trade up. I'm sorry, that's just the way it works. But
that's if you need a quarterback.
You do need a quarterback.
Well, if they got 4 wins, they might say Justin Fields still our answer.
Yeah, because of 4 wins.
Well, that's the way they're going to be thinking.
No, they better not fucking be thinking that. That's the case. They need to go.
This is what I'm worried about.
That's not going to happen.
This is the part I'm a little worried about.
Anyway, so you don't have a second first-round pick.
No, because I didn't make that trade.
Now, I didn't agree with Carnell Tate being when I did my mock draft. Carnell Tate was there, and if he was there, he's my number 1. He's my pick right there. I just don't know what that simulator was doing at that point in time.
I hate these simulators, though.
Huh?
I don't like them either.
I don't know what it was doing. It was the PFF one too.
The PFF one's usually pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. It had.
Why is he slipping?
No. That's why I'm confused. If he's there at 26 pick,
you gotta take him.
Yeah, but I'm going to live in a more realistic world and say Malachi Lemon is the guy that's there. He's from USC. He likely, and he may not even be there. That's the thing too. But I obviously can't I would think the simulator's doing what it thinks that the draft will fall at to some extent.
Depending on team needs and all.
Yeah.
But teams move up for players, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, at the very least, I'm leaving this draft with Malachi Lemon in this situation. And then now you have a fully loaded offensive unit.
100%.
You have a rookie quarterback that's built for success. And then first pick in the second round, if we have that first pick or whatever have you, Caleb Banks, Christian Miller from Georgia. To load up the interior defensive line. Matayo Uyunglele, if he's there, I saw this guy in a what game was it? It was one of he plays for Oregon, and it was one of the games. Maybe it was Penn State actually. Now I'm thinking about it. There was a game where I was watching that game for the sheer fact of watching Dante Moore,
right?
And this guy was an animal on the defense side of the ball. He's an edge player. Nice. Another player that I don't see falling to the spot that PFF was telling me he's going to be at, but if he is there, he's was a dynamic player in that game. He'll likely be a first-round pick. That's what I've seen out of it, is that he's a first-round talent. if he's there and he fills an immediate need for this Jets team at edge, at some point in time, you're going to figure out a decision between Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson and who you want to keep. And then this guy kind of helps you make that decision.
He does. He would. And that's why I brought it up to you earlier about that whole situation with like the hold on, what were we talking about? Okay, yes. So having that extra first round pick for trading Quinnen, dude, makes so much sense here. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you didn't trade Quinnen, let's say they kept him on the roster, there's nothing stating that the Jets cannot move back into the first round with their second round pick to jump up for one of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now by selecting Jacoby Myers, right, there's no need for Malachi Lemon or Cornell Tate. Not saying you don't have to go that high to grab them.
Yeah, you don't have to. You can play yourself with
you
in
can
the
go
third
with
round, get a guy Nick Harbor
100%.
or Surratt. Like you can do stuff like that.
100%.
I'm more trying to fucking build a situation where it's
like
no bullshit.
You want to build it like the Detroit Lions, man. You want to build that team.
I want to say you got it. You got the fucking cojones, or you don't got it. There's no reason anymore.
My thing is with that first pick there. Let's say the Jets were to trade Quinnen. I see more likely that first pick either being a defensive tackle or a defensive end. You know what I'm saying? To kind of because let me tell you something. Defense is going to be a need too. If we got to get them younger too. Another defense. I know we don't want to waste all our first round picks on these guys, but dude, you know our second pick though in that first round, there are receivers there. They will be receivers there. You even had that kid from Clemson. I had him going in the second round. Antonio Simpson, wide receiver from Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
You know he's worthy of a second round pick.
Yeah.
Boom.
I got you. But so part of the equation to this whole thing too is you have Garrett locked up, fine. You give Myers that 4-year contract, $20 million a year. Fine.
I know where you're getting with this.
This third guy is getting absolutely nothing for years. You can turn around in 2 years and send Myers somewhere for a decent acquisition. Just third round, fourth round pick, whatever, and like free up that cap space. And you now have 2 wide receivers. Desarian Smith take a step in the right direction, and he can actually be a third wide receiver instead of being forced into it as a rookie.
Yeah, true.
And then you still have more time to eventually build up on your offense. If you were thinking I was going to train Garrett Wilson, you're out of your mind.
No, definitely
not.
No. You know what's funny though, what you're saying here right now, and I'm thinking of a couple of years back when we took Will McDonald. When we had in our possession, we could have drafted Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Mm-hmm.
This will not even be a conversation right now. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Everything would be so different. And we were saying that. I remember talking in the draft. We were together. You were like, they have to grab him. They have to draft him. And they come out with Will McDonald. I'm like, and to be honest with you, I mean, he was impressive last year. Yeah, no, definitely not. No, I mean, even not having a quarterback, he would make you better. You know what I'm saying? Look at Garrett Wilson, what he's done with no quarterbacks his whole career. I mean, having a guy like that is just a crisp route runner. Man, imagine 2 of those guys out there like that. And I don't know, Cornell Tate is like that kind of guy.
I told you at the time Jackson was my favorite.
He was the number one
receiver.
I know you.
Well, I mean, even more than Garrett Wilson, and I was obsessed with Garrett Wilson too.
Yeah, you did. He's the one that got hurt, right? Got injured or something. Jackson Smith-Njigba. He
missed some time, and I think I gotta remember, but I'm pretty sure Ohio State was out of it, and he missed like the last like month of the season.
I remember.
You got a lot of grief. You got a lot of grief for it and stuff like that, but like, why rush it back on an injury? The team was out of it. I got to look back at it, but I'm pretty sure that was the situation with him. All players do it now. Not so much because the NILs.
Yeah, true.
But when you're not at that time, they weren't getting paid. So, but yeah, that was one that I'll never understand. But still got a decent player. At least he wasn't a bum.
No, he's not. I mean, who knows? We need another edge anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, let's see what we got
All
here.
right.
So
So here's my starting offense after it's all said and done. Got Mendoza, got Brees, Isaiah Davis, Garrett Wilson, Jacoby Myers, Malachi Lemon, Arian Smith, Mason Taylor, Jeremy Ruckert. That's just your offensive skill players and your quarterback. I mean, you're talking weapons galore.
yeah,
You're talking a quarterback that
hopefully could develop. I mean, we're putting him in the right situation here. Behind
Mhm.
that offensive line, I mean, come on.
the offensive line,
exactly.
as you just mentioned. I don't know why Mendoza's name is there.
And I'll be
but
honest with you. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised if the Jets do not draft a center in the third, like on day
yeah,
2.
and that's what the Myers situation comes in. Is like you can look for a center at some point in time
Mhm.
and figure it out. Like you
But he's
don't
been
have to
playing well. He's been playing well.
Yeah, no, he's playing well. But at some point, that's a position you need to address. But you
Yeah.
don't need to address it in the first round. You don't need to address it in the second round. You can
Day
address
3.
it in third, fourth.
I mean, are you putting? Let me ask you a question. Let's just assume they moved on for Josh Myers.
Mm-hmm.
Are you taking Joe Tippmann, and putting him back
No.
at center? Oh, you think he's good at guard? He's the guy.
I think he's there.
Okay, so now we're
And that's his
drafting
position
center.
moving forward.
Gotcha.
And if you got 4 of these guys lined up, you can shove anybody in the middle and
you
figure
can.
it out.
That's for sure.
Obviously, like with a rookie, you would like an experienced center that can figure things out with a rookie there.
You keep Josh Myers.
Yeah.
I mean,
you need someone who can read the
back on his feet.
protections.
For sure.
I know we talked about him earlier, but Nick Mangold. Did it come from Sanchez, or where did I read it? Basically talking about how, like, when Sanchez came in, like, Nick Mangold was like an invaluable asset because of the fact that he took the normal, like, development of a rookie as being able to, like, yell out protections and do all that stuff. He took that completely out of Mark Sanchez's hands because that was him. He took that on his own, and he said, "All right, I got you, Rook. Just worry about reading the defense and figure it out. I'll handle the defensive fronts. I'll handle the blitz pickups, all that shit." Like, that was Nick Mangold, and similar situation. Like, if you're not bringing Josh Myers, make sure whoever you're bringing in has some extended experience playing center, because
you were young. You were young when so we were spoiled for almost 2 decades of great center play. Yeah, we went from Kevin Mawai to Nick Mangold. That was like almost
instant too. What, like, it was?
Yeah,
it wasn't like a
next
gap.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there was no stopgap or nothing. It went from him to him right away.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I mean,
Mawai went to
awesome.
Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee.
He went to Tennessee, and then we brought in Mangold the very next year.
Yeah, we did.
So, yeah, again, going with the formula here. Oh, my God, what happened to this fucking shit? Anyway.
What happened?
I
understand it, though.
Yeah, it got old. I hit tab and shit got fucked up. But anyway, corners, talked about it earlier. You're locked into the top 3. Stigger's going to still be on the roster. I'm just going with, like, your top tier guys.
No, I got you.
Stiggers is still there. He's basically a net nothing. I don't know. He's good in specials, not so good in coverage. Jarvis Brownlee. You'd like to bring someone else in to give you some other nickel reps and stuff like that. Maybe you bring in a safety, like, combo type of player. Like, if they brought in Reed Blankenship, probably also bring in, like, another safety, like, in the middle rounds of the draft.
Do that. Save the extra, like, $4 or $5 million a year to do that.
Play around there. Your linebacking group. I mean, your defense is taking a little bit of a hit in favor of just
the offense,
over supplementing the offense.
That's time, man. We need that.
Listen, I go back to it. I'd much rather live in a world where our offense is, like, fully loaded and our defense is terrible, because you can fix defenses in one off season. You can do that. If you have a terrible offense, it takes time. It takes a lot of time, as we know. Offense is the
hardest part. I mean, the hardest part, besides quarterback, of course, on an offense, is the trenchman. It's the offensive line. Mm-hmm. So if we have our offensive line, if they could be a top 10 unit, dude, that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like, that's advantage. I mean, I like to just give this kid either Mendoza, whoever comes in, right? So much time. I mean, there's no excuses. I mean, if we can't, after that, I'm done. I am done after that.
The only excuse would be development, but you would
Yeah.
still like to see like very good signs like by November.
I'm telling you, I mean, if you watch Tan Agstrand, I like his play calls, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was never mad about him.
yeah,
I thought he was definitely handicapped with Justin Fields.
yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Anyway,
Bam. That was awesome, man.
long
We
list.
just fixed the Jets. They should listen to us more. You know.
We'll see. And all these contracts come out that probably be like completely fucking out of whack. And Myers signs like $30 million contract.
Oh, jeez.
Someone that
That's
needs a wide
crazy.
receiver. I wonder if he goes back to because he was with New England, right? If I remember right, Jacoby Myers. Then he
Yeah,
started
he
with New England.
started with New England, and then he got. I think he got traded, I think he got traded to Vegas. I remember he played in with Patriots.
Yeah, he was a pain in the ass to the Patriots too. I remember.
Yeah, he was. He's that type of receiver, though. He just finds a way to get open and catch the ball and do work.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah, he
know?
played the Patriots from 19 to 22.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got here. Do you want to give a little prediction for the
Um,
bye? Do we get a win?
yeah.
Do
I
we get
mean,
a loss?
hey, listen, enjoy these 2 weeks because this is the first time in a very long time we'll have 2 weeks of W in our bank. So
You can
I
celebrate two
just
straight weeks of Victory Mondays.
yeah,
Price of
basically because
one.
we're off next week. So I
Mhm.
hope the guys get better. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody back healthy. Hopefully, I mean, we got a healthy Sauce Gardner. Hopefully, Garrett's ready to go back. I mean, I want to see. Listen, I just want them to be competitive. I want to see something good. That's all. I don't want to see garbage anymore. But
You want to see
that's all
competitive?
I got, man.
Don't win games 6-3. That's the only thing. You
I
want to piss
agree.
off this fan base? Oof. Win a game where the offense sucks. The offensive line looks like shit. Receivers can't catch for crap.
Hey, I got one thing for you. I mean, week 17 or week 18 might be something to play for these Bills, man. These Patriots are starting to look really good. They're not laying down. I'll tell you, that may come to week 18. They're both playing for something.
That only helps us a little bit in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the heck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bro.
Win it. Hour and 45 minutes.
We did good.
All right.
All right, brother, man.
And the stream, stay in the chat for a sec, and then we'll get going. All right. Thanks for listening. Let's go Jets.
Jets. Finitos. Did you leave?